4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchison.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and we very much appreciate you tuning us in this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we will have an interview we taped earlier this week with Madison Central offensive lineman Malachi Wood. He just recently verbally committed to the University of Kentucky, so he came in and stopped by and talked to us about all the places he went to, all the schools he considered, and then his decision to go ahead and give a commitment to the University of Kentucky. So BBN, you guys definitely want to hang around and check that out. But before we do that, we like to start off the show like we always do with a recap of the week that was in Madison County sports, and really kind of a slow week. We're in that the brief period here between basketball season ending and the spring sports kicking in, but we do have some stuff to tell you about. Starting off with EKU men's basketball, the Colonels' season came to an end on March 1st with a loss to Kennesaw State down in Georgia, and since then there's been a lot of action to talk about with them. 3 players have entered the transfer portal. Kurt Lewis, Jamaro Brown, and Tariq Balogun have all put their names into the transfer portal. That doesn't mean they necessarily will have to leave, but history shows us that usually when players do this, they usually don't come back to where they were at, but it is possible. But really, Jamaro Brown leaving was not much of a surprise. He was honored on senior night when they took on Bellarmine, and the general consensus was that he was going to leave after 3 seasons here. Scored over 1,200 points. He'll leave as one of the EKU's all-time leaders in steals as well. Tariq Balogun did not play in the final 5 games of the season. Kind of got spotty duty. He did start some games earlier in the season, but after 3 years, he also is leaving Eastern Kentucky University. And Kurt Lewis, the big blow here, folks were kind of hoping he would stay around, but he was 3rd on the team in scoring last year, 9.7 points a game. Had a really fantastic freshman year a couple of seasons ago and made a splash, and it looks like he also will be heading out of Richmond. Those departures, along with the other players who have run out of eligibility, leave the current EKU roster with only 6 scholarship players: Michael Marino, Cooper Robb, Devontae Blanton, Michael Wardy, Iron Bennett, and Deshaun Jackson. So EKU's coach A.W. Hamilton was able to go into the transfer portal last year and get 3 kids, and so it looks like he'll be doing the same thing again. And folks, this is kind of what college sports is right now. They kind of kids come and go all the time, so I'm sure A.W. Hamilton's already on the phone making some calls and hitting up some people, and I'm sure that they will fill those roster spots with some very good players. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out over the next couple of months. Well, earlier this week down in Berea at Madison Southern, we had a pair of signings. And we'll start off with senior soccer player Nadia Meeks. She signed to play at Midway University. She has been a standout on the back line for the Lady Eagles for the past few years. Played in every game the past couple of seasons. And at her signing, we got a chance to talk to her and ask her about her decision to go to Midway University.
I wanted to go to Midway because it's a smaller school, and you've always made me love the whole family aspect of soccer. So I just really wanted to go somewhere where I knew that I would get that again, and have people that would be really close to me and that I'd be really close with, and it's just fun that way. And then I'm really excited to keep playing because I love soccer so much, and it'll bring a lot of fun into college and help keep me focused, so I'm really excited about that. So yeah. All right, thank you.
And then a little bit later on that day, we had Davis Pingleton with his signing ceremony, and he's a senior swimmer. He won a region title just a couple of months ago in the 100 backstroke. That's kind of his main event. He went on to place 18th at the state in that event last month, and he also was took 30th in the 50 free, so a very accomplished young man, and he will be swimming at Center College. And here's what he had to say at his signing ceremony.
I'd like to just say thank you for everybody coming today. It means a lot to me and my family that you showed up, and this is a long and pretty hard decision for me, and finally coming to a decision took a lot of weight off my shoulder, and as well as my family's. And I'd like to just thank my family, my entire family, for supporting me over the years and all the countless hours and spent at meets and driving to meets and practices. And I swam since I was 5 years old, so not only have I invested a lot of time into the sport, but they have too. And I'm fortunate to have met a lot of great people swimming, and I'm grateful for all the friends I've made, and on every team, because I'm on 3 teams every year, and I appreciate each and every one of you pushing me and encouraging me to be the best I can be. So thank you. And lastly, I would like to thank my coaches who have pushed me day in and day out. You guys forced me to work, even though sometimes I don't want to. And because of that, you've provided not just me, but all of your athletes with the best chance to succeed. And I hope one day in the future I can make an impact on people's lives like you have done for each of your swimmers. So thank you, and go Colonels.
Well, congratulations to Nadia and Davis, and we really appreciate you guys inviting us to your signing ceremony. We always love to be at those events. It's always a special moment for those kids and their families, and so we're always very happy to show up and document those and share those kids' stories. So, high school tennis is underway despite some of the rough weather out there. Some of our local teams did get some matches in last week. Madison Central 2-0 on the season. On Tuesday they beat Tates Creek, and then on Thursday they picked up a win over Estill County. In the win over Tates Creek up in Lexington, it was the girls picking up a 5-0 win and the boys getting a 4-1 win. For the girls, it was Leah Crump, Katie Schaefer, and Summer Olmstead picking up wins, and for the boys, it was Brian Pruitt and Caden Gillum picking up wins. And then over on Thursday, over in Estill County and Irvin, in the win over the Engineers, it was the girls picking up a 5-0 win and the boys picking up a 5-0 win as well. On the girls' singles side, it was Crump and Schaefer picking up wins, and on the boys' singles side, it was Jaden Coons and Brian Pruitt picking up victories. They'll be back in action Tuesday at Henry Clay. And the Model Lab tennis team opened its season on Thursday with a victory over Frankfurt at Eastern Kentucky University. It was the girls getting a 3-2 win and the boys picking up a 2-1 victory. In girls' singles action, it was Katie Connolly picking up a win, and both of the Lady Patriot doubles teams picked up victories as well. And for the boys, it was Keshav Bhandari and David Tofan picking up victories. The Patriots will be back in action on Monday at Scott County. Moving on to EKU baseball. An exciting week for the Colonels. They moved to 10-5 and pushed their winning streak to 7 games with 3 victories. On Tuesday, it was a 6-4 win at home over Western Kentucky. On Wednesday, it was an 8-2 win on the road over Marshall. And then Friday night, a really dramatic 7-5 victory over Austin P down in Clarksville, Tennessee. We'll start off with the Western Kentucky game. It was Madison Central graduate Logan Thomason, 4 for 5, 2 RBIs, and scored 2 runs. And Will King had a home run. And in the win over Marshall on Wednesday, it was Logan Thomason and Jalen Jones with 2 hits each. The game on Friday was really exciting. The Colonels were down 5-0 heading into the 9th inning. They scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning to take the lead and claim their 7th straight victory. So it was Bryce Travis, our Madison Central grad. He picked up the win with 1 1/3 scoreless innings of relief, and it was Will Bryan picking up his 5th save of the season. It was snowing in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings of this game. It was crazy to watch it on ESPN+, but great to come from behind win for the Colonels. They were supposed to play Austin P on Saturday. That game was canceled because of the weather. They were supposed to play 2 games today, Sunday, but we did not have those scores before we had to film this show. So check out EKU Baseball on Twitter, or I'll try to give you an update the best I can on our Twitter account as well. But the Colonels, 7 straight wins, and they'll be back in action Tuesday at Tennessee. EKU's softball team was playing in a tournament this past week. It was kind of partially between Lexington and Louisville, but they did play Thursday in Lexington and suffered a 7-2 loss to Ohio. Then on Friday, they suffered a 5-4 loss to Buffalo, then bounced back to pick up a 4-1 win over Valparaiso. And then they were scheduled to play on Sunday up in Louisville against Indiana, weather permitting there as well. And also, so if you want to get the reports from that, EKU softball Twitter is the best place to go there as well. But in the win over Valpo, it was Maggie Purdy, 2 for 3 with a 2-run double, and Lauren Navarro picking up the complete game victory. She allowed just 1 run and 4 hits. And EKU is set to return to action Wednesday at Morehead State. Moving on to Berea College softball, one little note to pass along to you there. Madison McIntosh, a freshman from Rockcastle County, she pitched a no-hitter on Friday against the Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts in a tournament out in Leesburg, Florida. Lady Mountaineers pick up an 8-0 win. Also in that game, Savannah Fallis, who's a senior down there at Berea College, but she is a Madison Southern graduate. She had an RBI triple as well. Berea College now 4-5 on the season, and they'll be back in action Wednesday at Center College. And we're heading into high school baseball and softball season. It's actually officially starts on Monday, but not a lot of games this week because of spring break for some schools and a lot of other things. But unfortunately, we have some bad news to report, because if you are a fan of Madison Central or Madison Southern baseball or softball, then you really are probably going to have to gas up your cars and hit the road and watch a lot of road games this year, because the dugouts at both Madison Central and Madison Southern High School at the softball and baseball fields at both locations will not be ready for the start of the season. This has really put both teams, all 4 teams, in a pinch. They're going to have to play a lot of road games. There is some talk of maybe doing some games at EKU, Berea College, all over the place, but it doesn't. I was down there at Southern during the week, and this doesn't look like those dugouts are going to be ready probably at all this year. I mean, talking to Madison Southern athletic director Jay Simmons, and those dugouts have a concrete roof that have to be cured 28 days after they're poured, and they're not even anywhere near close to getting the pouring yet. So, doesn't look like there will be any home games for baseball or softball at Madison Central or Madison Southern this spring. So that does create a problem. Madison Central was supposed to be the region host in baseball, so that could create some issues going forward. So, but as of now, the Eagles, Lady Eagles, Indians, and Lady Indians will be hitting the road a lot. And don't have any high school softball games involving the Madison County teams this week. That's just how the schedule worked out. But we do have some baseball games. On Monday, Madison Southern will be at Whitley County. On Thursday, Madison Southern will be at Western Hills, and Madison Central will be at Sayre. So if you Indian fans do want to check that out, that's just right up off the Boonesboro exit. That's where the Sayre Athletic Complex is, right there off of exit 95, I do believe. So it's right there up the road. So that's maybe as close as you're going to get for an Indians game for a while. And then on Saturday, the Central boys are going to be at Breathitt County, and Madison Southern is going to be traveling up to Walton, Verona. So lots of road games coming for our local teams there. So we do have, it is scheduled March 21st, Central Southern baseball. At this point, not sure where that game will be played. Neither team has a field, so it is looking like it may end up at Berea College, but not confirmed on that yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But spring sports are always going to have very fluid schedules, and now they're going to be even more fluid with neither Central or Southern having home games at this point. And as we were filming this, breaking news, just got word of this, that the Kentucky Special Olympics, the Madison County Special Olympics basketball team won a state championship on Saturday morning, and it was tweeted out by Austin Newton and his folks down there with the Madison Southern basketball program. So congratulations to them. It's been a fantastic year for them. Of course, they're featured on Sports Center and everything, but so we're very happy to report that, and very happy for those young men and young ladies, and all of them as well. So we got for you today, and like I said, it's a recap of kind of a slow week, but there's still all kinds of stuff going on. So despite the weather and everything else. So hang out with us, and here in just a minute, we're going to have the big guy, Malachi Wood, in here to talk about his commitment to UK football.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
Welcome back. We are joined by Madison Central Junior offensive lineman Malachi Wood, just recently committed to the University of Kentucky. Thank you so much for coming by, Malachi.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you coming by. It's was that a big weight off your shoulders a couple Saturdays ago to get that decision made?
Yeah, it felt a weight lifted off my shoulders, definitely.
Okay, it was late on a Saturday night, because I know kind of what was going through your mind, and how did the decision kind of finally come to fruition there?
Yeah, I mean, I had known for a couple weeks that was more than likely where I was going to go, and it just felt right. The timing felt right. Just letting everybody know that's where I was going to be going.
Yeah, because Kentucky's been on you since your freshman year, right? I mean,
yeah, freshman sophomore year.
Yeah, I mean, when they come in, I was talking to Mark Sanders earlier. I mean, they come in on you kind of spring of the freshman year, and you had that huge growth spurt. You went from about 6'2" to about 6'7" or something.
6'7", 6'8", around there.
Yeah, because you had a couple of big growth spurts. You had a big one in middle school, and then after the freshman year.
Yeah.
Is that kind of after that second spurt? Was that when a lot of the interest started to really come in?
Yeah, that's probably when I would say most of it did.
Yeah. And you got offers from Kansas, Louisville, Marshall, Maryland, Purdue, Toledo, West Virginia. You've been all over the place. So just talk about what the last few months have been like, what camps you've gone to, what campuses you visited, and just kind of what the whole process was like.
I mean, it's been pretty fun just getting to travel everywhere, see all the campuses, go talk to all these coaches, and it's just a really good experience. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what were obviously, you like Kentucky, but kind of where were your other favorite places you went to?
I really like going up to Louisville. I mean, I know it's probably.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, probably hard to say, but I mean, the campus was nice and all that, and I enjoyed it up there. And obviously, going to EKU, it's right like 5 minutes away from home, so just getting to see everything is just really nice.
Yeah, and obviously, when you made the decision, we were just joking kind of off camera here. Your phone just blew up. You had to turn off the notifications on all your social media sites and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So what's that been like?
I mean, it's cooled down a little bit, but it's still pretty still going on pretty good.
Yeah, and of course in this world, it is a verbal you have not signed, but you tell the Big Blue Nation what they want to hear. You're 100% committed.
100% committed.
That's what they want to hear.
I will be signing.
In this day and age, there's a lot of flip-flopping.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm not gonna flip it. I'm 100% locked in.
The cameraman's happy.
Randy had to chime in back there as well. Was it so when they first kind of came in on you? Was it Mark Perry that kind of was the first guy that came down and talked to you quite a bit?
Yes.
Okay, and then you also got to know John Schlarman a little bit, right?
Yeah, I talked to him. It was actually like a meet and greet type of thing. My 8th grade year, the summer of my 8th grade year, and he was signing the autograph. He said, "You're a pretty big kid, man." And we sat and talked for like 20 minutes or so. He said he'll be keeping an eye out for me. He said I got a lot of potential if I use it right, and he said he'd love to see me walk at one day, and finally gonna happen.
Yeah, unfortunately he won't be able to see that because he's no longer with us, but it's obviously very cool that there's that connection, and it's so much of what he built, and of course what they call the Big Blue Line up there is his legacy, and it's very cool. And that's obviously been a big part of what they've been able to do the last few years is the offensive line, and you gotta want to be a part of that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that's also kind of what happened at Central this year. I mean, you guys had a great offensive line. It was very much a run-centered offense, and especially running behind you, of course. Yes, why wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
Just, with the new coach and everything, I think nobody expected you guys to do what you did. But kind of just coming into the year with Mike Holcomb as the coach, a guy who had won 3 state championships. I mean, what did you guys kind of collectively kind of think, the potential there was?
We just bought in. I mean, we knew it was a new coaching staff coming in. It was a clean slate. We just all bought in and just were ready to work, ready to win.
Yeah, and it didn't really kind of start off as a run-centered offense, but I think the Oldham County game, I think you guys, I think you threw it one time in that game, and
once or twice maybe.
It was full-on run from there, and that's kind of and obviously with Brady Hensley, kind of leading the charge there, and I think it's an offensive lineman. You got to love that, right? You love to say, get behind me and let's go, right?
Yeah, let's get behind me and go. That's pretty much the plan.
Yeah, and that offensive line was kind of a mix mash of guys that had never really played before. You had some guys like you, and Evan Dexter was back, some different pieces there, but kind of talk about the process of you guys gelling there.
I mean, it took a little bit of time, obviously, like through the summer, those first couple games, but after we got rolling, I mean, it really started to click and we started to go.
Yeah, yeah. And so there's been some change on the UK coaching staff here recently, and so who was it? Was Vince Merle kind of the guy that was on you kind of pretty much all along?
Yeah, Vince has been the main person up there I've been talking to.
Yeah, and he just seems like, I guess they call him the big dog, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about Vince.
I mean, he's a cool dude. And just being around him, talking to him, he's just a great dude.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like he has the kind of personality that can.
Yeah.
No wonder they get great recruits there, because that guy comes in and talks to you and just charms you, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess they did change offensive coordinators and an offensive line coach as well. So as a recruit, when you're being recruited by a certain bunch of guys and then it kind of changes, I know we've seen that in the past. I know Damian Harris, years ago had committed to Michigan, but then their offensive coordinator left, and so he opened it back up and ended, of course, going to Alabama. So as a recruit in your situation, where you've been dealing with an offensive line coach and an offensive coordinator, and they change, and how does that affect kind of your thinking?
It affected it a little bit, but I went up on a visit on the 1st, and nothing's really changed. I mean, they're still doing stuff how they've been doing. Their offense is staying the same, and the new O-line coach, Coach Yenzer, I mean, I talked to him. He's a really good dude. Yeah,
it seemed like they brought in really kind of compatible pieces.
Yeah, they really are.
The new offensive coordinator. I can't even pronounce his name. How do you pronounce that?
Scangarello?
Scangarello. Rich Scangarello. I mean, he comes from the NFL. So Liam Cullum left, but then he comes in from a very similar background as him. So it seemed like the pieces fit there pretty good.
I think they did.
Yeah. So it wasn't awkward when. Have you had a chance to meet the new coaches?
I met both of them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, looking forward. You got still another year of high school. I mean, like I said, you gotta feel like that weight's really off.
Just focus on the season now. Get ready.
Yeah. And kind of what do they kind of want you to? Do they want you to bulk up a little bit? Do they like you at you're like 6'8", 300? I guess is what they've got officially listed as.
Yeah, officially, but I'm 270.
270.
So they said, don't worry about the weight right now and just keep focused on getting stronger. And they said once I actually get up there, then that's when they'll focus on putting the actual weight on.
Yeah. How does that work? Just a lot of hamburgers and protein shakes?
A lot of protein shakes, a lot of eating, I guess.
That's all right. You can do that, right?
Do that.
So, or just talk too about Kentucky and the development of that program, the success they've had, and then also the kind of upgrades they've done on the facilities up there.
Yeah, the facilities are really nice. I mean, their weight room's nice, their outdoors are nice. They're getting a new indoor facility that's just getting built, so hopefully that should be done by the time I get up there. But all the facilities are really nice, and they just have a really good culture up there. Yeah. I think they flipped it a lot compared to the past couple of years.
Yeah. As I said, a big part of that success has been that offensive line, and like I said, that's something you got to obviously be excited to be a part of when you got a nickname like that too, the Big Blue Line.
Big Blue Wall.
A Big Blue Wall. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's you gotta love that. So, and of course, when you're a Kentucky kid, and you get the Kentucky offer, I mean, it's. Yeah. I know a lot of other people come in on you, and until the day you sign, I'm sure you're going to still get other people hitting you up. There's probably still your phone's probably going off right now, but you're probably still getting something in the mail from somebody today. But I said, when you're a Kentucky kid and you get that UK offer, that's hard to resist.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you stopping by, and congratulations on all your success and everything.
Thank you.
And that will wrap up this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. And we'll be here every Sunday, come rain or shine or snow or whatever may come our way. But we're back next Sunday with a new episode. And, of course, the best place to keep up with Madison County sports during the week is on Twitter at Richmond R Sports and on Facebook at Register Sports. So we'll see you next week.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by MEL'S BARBER SHOP, established 2019. Walk-ins welcome. Visit them 102 St. George Street in Richmond. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.